Hello, friends. Hello. We have a visitor with us today. Welcome to Crafter Joy Live. I'm Lisa Hetrick, and this is
Sydney Hetrick.
Sydney Hetrick. This is the third time you've joining.
I think it is.
On live.
Yeah.
Sydney was supposed to join us last week, but had a lot of homework and kind of
Didn't
make it. Did make it. So I'm seeing everybody pop in, and also you can see it's kind of dark in here. We have all of the studio lights on, but it is snowing outside. We had a virtual tornado yesterday, 80 degrees, and now it's snowing. It's not going to really stick because it was like sleeting and then hailing, and now it's snowing. So we're getting all the things. So everybody's saying hello. I see everybody popping in. Yes, what a nice surprise. What a nice surprise. Okay, friends, today we're continuing on with our conversation about watercolor crayons. And today we're going to use the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks, and Sydney is going to use the Caran D'Ache Neocolor 2s that we used last week. So we're going to use both, and we're going to see the differences between both of the crayons in real time. And we're going to paint a blooming poppy. Let's just go ahead to the overhead camera. All right, we're going to gently lift that up and move that out. So we're going to paint. Oh, we got the keyboard here too. Let's move that. Let's just kind of tuck that over there. All right, friends. If you were on my email list, I did send out the download in the email list this week. It's also linked down below in the description. So are all the supplies. We are using Strathmore Ready Cut watercolor today. You can just flip that over there. And this is let's see, you think you got enough space?
I'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. This is the blooming, I'm just calling it a blooming wildflower. I think I called it a blooming poppy. I'm not even sure. Yeah. Okay, I did. A blooming poppy because it kind of has that look of a poppy and poppy seed pod. So we're going to paint this today. I'm going to use the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks, and Sydney's going to use the Caran D'Ache Neocolor 2s. So you're going to have to can you just scroll up so we make sure? So you just kind of, yeah, okay, we're on target. Okay. So we have the comments over here. Friends, along the way, I'm going to talk about the techniques with these two mediums along the way, but we're really just going to sit back and paint and chat. If you're painting along with me and you're using crayons, fantastic. It doesn't matter which brand you use. You could also just use your watercolors or watercolor pencils. Doesn't matter. We're just going to have some fun together. Okay, let's dive in. And Sydney's going to pick, we've got round brushes. I'm going to be using, Sydney's using a number 6. I'm probably going to be using a number 6 as well. Just using round brushes. We've got water here and a little paper towel. I'm a left-hander. Sydney's a right-hander. So that's why I always sit this way, and she always sits that way. So, hello. I see everybody popping in. It's very, very nice. Hi, Cherie. Cherie's in Florida, so it's warm there.
Jealous.
Yeah. It's warm there. Okay. All right. I am going to I think I'm going to do my poppies in the reds and oranges of Daniel Smith watercolor. So I'm somewhere around here in the color palette. And Sydney, what are you planning on doing?
Oh, grab the wrong one.
Sydney's going to do hers in purples. So she's going to do hers in purples. Okay. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I've got carmine. So I'm going to pick my main color. I'm going to use this carmine color because it tends to lean a little more pinky. So we're going to start off with the pinky colors. And I'm going to try to use, you can see that the watercolor sticks, see how they're kind of crumbly? So I mentioned this on Tuesday's tutorial, that they're okay to work with. I feel like they're okay to work with. Can you grab me a piece of watercolor paper? Yeah. We're going to just do a real quick nerd out. And talk about some of the quick differences between these two. Cool nails. Oh yeah,
Thank you,
Sydney.
Jill.
Friends, all of you, most of you have seen Sydney. She does her own nails. Very artistic. These are her real nails.
They are.
And,
growing out.
look at mine. Aren't they pretty? They're just a mess. Mine are a mess. And no fault to Sydney, because every time she does my nails, I end up, like,
Picking them off.
picking them off. Or doing something different with them. Oh, hello! Oh, Linda. Hi from Alaska, Western Maryland. Yesterday it was in the 70s, right? And today it's in the 20s. Linda, we're in Carroll County, Maryland. So you're in Garrett, so you're 2 counties over. But yeah, I know. It was like 80s and gorgeous.
And now
Now
it's snowing.
it's snowing. So, and if you're in Western Maryland, the Garrett County, Deep Creekish area, you're on the other side of the mountain. So you could have way more snow than we have. Okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead. I want you to try this too. So here is the watercolor sticks. Now the difference between the watercolor sticks and the Neocolor 2s. These are sticks. I would say they're more like sticks, less like crayon. They get a little bit crumbly. They are basically the Daniel Smith pigments in stick form. You have the ability to use them like a crayon pretty well. And I'm going to try that today. But it feels a little scratchy, and see how it gets a little crumbly? Now, Sydney is just going to color it and tell me how it feels.
Pretty smooth. I would say
Smooth.
comparable to an oil pastel, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot like an oil pastel. And last week when we started talking about watercolor crayons, I was talking about that feeling of friction when you're using them. These have that feeling of friction when I use them, so they're not gliding across the paper. However, the pigment does break down very beautifully and very smoothly. So I can really break that down. And you can see, how does that feel when you're painting with it?
Really nice, actually.
Very smooth.
Really very.
Very glidey. However, like the difference between these two, there's a little, I talked about this last week, the Neocolor 2s have a little bit of more opacity to them. You can get that vibrant look, but there's a little bit opaque. Where here, these are really acting very predictably like watercolor pans or watercolor tubes. Not bad, just different. So what we're going to find throughout the tutorial today, and Sydney's painting versus my painting, even though we're painting the same thing, it's going to be very much like last week when the final poppy, no, it was a peony, was a little bit more creamy and opaque, and mine's going to be a little bit more translucent. So that's just a little bit of a difference between these two mediums. So I see everybody's still popping. Hey, Rhonda. Okay, friends. Lisa, love it when you nerd out. Yeah, that was a nerd out moment. I don't plan the nerd outs. They just happen. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's just go ahead and we'll just pop this over here. We're going to go ahead and get started. And Sid, you can approach yours any way you want. I'm going to start in with this bloom and just kind of work my way around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do this like I did last week, where I'm blocking in all of the color direct to paper. So I'm going to use the crayon until I don't like it anymore. And I'm just going to try to block in some of the color. I'm already feeling like I don't like it. So, but what I'm going to try to do is just like color in and block in some color like direct to paper. So this particular technique is direct to paper. So you can see yours feels very smooth, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's very, very seamless experience. So with the watercolor sticks, they're not really meant to be crayon-esque like those. They're just different. However, you can crayon-like and do it. Question, Jill, which brand is Sydney using? Yes, the Caran D'Ache Neocolor 2s. They are listed down below in the description. So that's what she's using. We used those, Jill, we used those last week in both tutorials and also the painting tutorial last Thursday. Yeah, that was last Thursday. Okay, I also, you can see that the color rubs off. It doesn't so much with this one because the wrapper's still on it. I tore all the wrappers off of this, so it's kind of my fault that that's happening. So I'm just blocking in this first one. And you can block in as much or as little as you would like. So you can get that crayon kind of feel. Now I'm just going to go in and just kind of break up that pigment and just work that color out to the tip of the blooms. And see how we feel. You're welcome. You're welcome, Joe. All right, friends, pop in the chat if you're painting along. And we'll just kind of keep going. Now, I started out with this carmine color. Oh, I already love what she's doing. I already wish I was using the Caran D'Ache ones. But I'm going to love the way this one comes out because we're going to be getting more of a transparent look. So you can see my color here. I got to work a little bit harder to break that up, break that texture up, because it was just kind of a little bit crumbly. But again, the watercolor sticks are kind of made, they're kind of made for watercoloring. Oh, that looks so pretty. You can mix up colors too. Have fun with it.
Okay.
Do whatever you want. I'm just doing a couple different layers. I'm layering some stuff in. So I tell you what I'm not going to do with my next set of blooms is that I'm not going to use the crayon, use the stick like a crayon, because I don't particularly like this at all. I don't like it at all. I don't like the texture.
Oh yeah, yours didn't like.
It doesn't. So when you're using this, when you're using the watercolor sticks, because their intention is watercolor in stick form, less crayon-y, the texture lines kind of get left behind depending upon how heavy-handed you are, and I'm pretty heavy-handed. So I don't like this way this looks at all, so we're tossing it. And we're going to start over. Luckily, I had two. If not, I was just going to make it work, right? Funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the watercolor sticks differently. And I'm going to wish that I was using Neocolor 2s because that's the mood I've been in this month. So I'm going to go ahead and still work with this carmine color because I do like it. But I'm going to do more of taking my brush, wetting my brush, and then tapping into the color and then applying it in full strength. So what I've got here, I'm going to block in my color this way. Now look at how beautiful it is and how intense that color is. I absolutely love it. Hello, Maureen, no worries. Yeah, luckily I could throw that out of the frame because I had printed out an extra. So I've got like about, I would say, a full strength amount of this color. Like a whole milk consistency. So now I'm just going to wet brush, just kind of work with what's here. And the color is just absolutely vibrant if we're just going to use it this way. Loving it. So mine is going to come out a lot more transparent in nature than Sydney's. You can see like, oh, so pretty. The opacity, it's like it's a little bit more opaque and kind of functions a little less like a watercolor medium. But that's okay. That's the difference between the two. That is the difference. It's a huge difference. Let's take a peek. So, and we did this last week where I blocked in all of the Neocolor 2s, just like Sydney is doing right here. Oh my God, those purples are beautiful.
I know they're really pretty.
They're really, really pretty. Now, while I've got this wet into wet, I'm going to take just the tiniest bit, I think, of this orange. Let's just turn this way. Move that out of the frame. Move this up a little bit. Take the tiniest bit of this orange and drop it in. Ooh, digging it. Just kind of letting it do its thing. So mine is I'm gonna be playing with using these sticks as a traditional like color medium. So I'm kind of using them a little bit like my pan sets. And I'm going to work my way around. And I'm going to predominantly do wet into dry. Brush is wet, paper is dry. Sydney's doing like a direct to paper with her crayons. And then she's doing wet into dry. So she's just taking her brush and activating the color and moving it around.
Can you layer?
Pretty. Oh, absolutely.
Like
you can
draw
layer
that over. Okay.
Yep, you can layer, but I would wait till this dries a little bit so that you get that wet. It's the Neocolors 2s. We did a lot of layering last week, but depending upon how heavy you put the color on, you don't need to layer. You can get it like in one pass, but it acts like a traditional watercolor medium that all you need to do is layer, and you can add more color to it. Like you can add the blues. I know you wanted to play with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull away some color. Ooh. With my brush, and you can do this too. So this is just lifting. I'm going to lift away some of the color from the tips of that. And I'm going to come in and just add the tiniest bit of dark right down here and just let that be and do its thing. But we've got, you can see Sydney has her blooms in the back. Like I've got these blooms in the back, but I'm going to move to like the pod and just kind of move around the painting a little bit and let it dry naturally. If you want to let it dry, just let it dry. Or if you want to heat it, just let me know. It's pretty dry.
Yeah, I didn't go overboard.
So I saw Sydney was doing a little bit of tip to tip too. So taking the tip of the brush and rubbing it up against that and then using that as your paint. Can do that too, tip to tip. Okay. All right, friends, drop in the chat. I know I've asked this last week too, but drop in the chat if you have experimented with watercolor crayons. I know many of you shared that you were using the Tim Holtz Distress crayons, which are lovely. I used to have them. I gave them to Aunt Carla.
Oh.
She's using them. After a while with art supplies, and when we redid the space, I gave away a lot of different art supplies because if you're not using them, then they're not getting any love and they need a home. So I gave away a lot. I gave away some...
A few teachers.
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Other Sydney.
Yeah. I gave some to teachers. I gave some to Carly, who took them to her university so that they could use them for the art, some of the art programs and things like that. So, spread the love. Okay, I'm just kind of playing around with this poppy and just adding my color in. So my sister-in-law Amy has the most beautiful poppies lining her backyard, and she's so generous in that she's given me seeds every year, and every year I can't make them grow. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to try again this year and see if I can get them to grow. So loving that direct to paper. Can't wait to see what that looks like when you blend it out. Oh, Jill said, I haven't used them yet because I've been afraid. Now watching me use them lately. Give them a try. Yes, just get them out and give them a try. And again, do you need them? If you don't have them and you have watercolor, do you need them? No, you don't. But wet into dry, got a lot of pigment on here. So like 100% whole milk or even a cream. And I'm just going to drop this in. Do you need them? No. But if you have them in your stash and you want to give them a go, get them out. Try them. I just think it's fun to experiment. Hi, Tanya. Tanya's from Florence, Kentucky. You probably don't have snow in Kentucky right now. Or maybe you do. Who knows? It's been a wild weather month. I got a lot going on here with these petals. So some of the petals might disappear. Oh, good, Rhonda. Yeah, give them a try if you have them or you have a chance. Oh, that looks good. So the watercolor crayons, the Neocolor 2s, will behave exactly like watercolor in that when, depending upon how much water you add to your painting, see how the bottom of the pod here has a little bit more color, the top doesn't. You had more water up there. Mm-hmm. So you can definitely get it, activate it, and get it to do all the things you would be able to do with watercolor. It's just a different kind of creamy medium. And a lot of like mixed media artists or people who do like collage or things in your sketchbooks really enjoy using crayons because they can kind of draw in them and do all kinds of fun stuff. Oh boy, Tanya said no snow, but it's 35. Yeah. Okay, so it's cooler where you are today than it was yesterday. Same. We had 80 degrees yesterday. It's crazy. I'm going to take a little bit of that orange that I have here. Let's pop a little bit. What color is that? Pyrrole orange. Just drop a little bit of orange in the bottom here. I need a little more water. Woo! That just took a little turn. I'm going to let this dry. And again, I'm not going to frame in the back yet. You can see this layer, like I'm not digging. That was still kind of wet. I'm going to pull away. I'm pulling away some of this color and getting back to the white of the paper up top here. Just kind of playing. So with these Daniel Smith watercolor sticks, and I said they act a lot like a traditional medium, it's going to take me a couple layers to get to jack up the vibrancy of the color. With what Sydney's doing in the Neocolor 2, she's probably going to get the color. You could get it in one pass if you were like a little more heavy-handed, but she's probably going to, she's not heavy-handed like me. She's probably going to get it in its little sprinkles. I watched you do it. I thought it was cute. Just let it ride. Let it ride. It's really cute. It's okay. It's because you did it over top.
Whoops.
That's okay.
Adds a little
it's
character.
Pretty. She's probably going to be able to bring up her vibrancy of what she's trying to do in two passes. Yeah. So, all right. Now, again, we're still, oh, look at the color mix, though. Reminds me of pansies.
Yeah.
Just that beautiful, like, blues and purples. Oh, when we're all kind of craving spring a little bit.
Ugh, fake spring.
And got a little faked out over the last couple of days. Direct to paper. Brush is wet. Paper is dry. We've got, I'm just going to get some color in here. Just kind of work my way around a little bit. Oh, your Aunt Kathy just...
Yeah, I just saw her text pop up.
Yeah, I text her to check on her. Yep, something
else.
Desk.
It's my new desk.
Yes, we ordered a new desk for stand-up desk for Sydney. She'll be starting a new job soon. And that's going to be fun and exciting. So, All right, what are you going to do next?
I might go in back up here.
And add, yeah, just kind
Add a
of
little
work
bit,
your way
yeah.
around the painting a little bit.
So you can over top of this.
Hey, Kathy. Yeah. So go ahead. Let's watch you do that. Like, go ahead and apply. You want to make sure it's completely
pretty
dry.
yeah.
So then just go in really gently. You know, it doesn't drag, and just kind of in a little bit of a circular motion, add a little bit of color in, and see how it feels. Nice. Yes, Maureen, color starved. I saw, so out in the garden and around the garden looks awful.
Scary.
Although at the root line in the garden of many of the perennials, I can start to see the life happening. And I looked at my peonies the other day and I could start to see some life happening underneath there, which is good because we need peonies for the wedding. So hopefully they will grow. We are trying to grow our own flowers. I know I've mentioned that. For my son and daughter-in-law to be's wedding coming in June. Sydney is using the Neo Color 2s crayons. You can kind of just show them. Again, Maureen asked these. We used these last week in our tutorials. Last week on Tuesday's tutorial. Oh boy, friends, that was a hot mess. How many of you were with me on Tuesday? First of all, Mr. Neal showed up.
Oh, you told me about this.
He was coming. Our pest control guy, wonderful, lovely man.
Amazing.
Showed up. And I didn't know he was coming, and I probably just forgot and whatever. So that happened, and then yeah, it was afraid the Xfinity people were out on the pole. It was just like one of those weird techie kind of days. Okay, just blocking in the color. So you can see once this is dried, so one of the interesting things and differences between this medium and that medium is that once it's dried, it doesn't, because there's some opacity to the medium, it doesn't fade back a whole value. Watercolor, when it's dried, depending upon how much water you're using, when it dries back, it fades back. And it can be like, wait a minute, it was really bright and then it got really, really light. So that's why it kind of takes a couple passes to kind of get that vibrancy of color up. And sometimes when you get to this stage, you might be like, this just doesn't look good. I don't want to do anymore. You just got to keep going. So I'm going to flip mine around. This is looking good.
I know. I forgot about that.
That's all right. You're going to be, you mean the smoosh?
No, the whole flower.
Oh. You're going to be able to cover it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about that.
I got water on it.
Okay. Yeah, and even though you've got the different petals here, you can edit out folds. Like, I'm going to be doing that today, editing out some of the folds that are happening in the flower petals, just because I don't want to put a lot of mental energy into it. Wasn't not going for super duper realism. As we look out, friends, it's blizzard like.
Oh.
And everybody knows that we have windows, like wall-to-wall windows, and the whole bat story, and why we don't have coverings.
It's like tornadoing.
It's definitely snowing. Winter weather advisory. Okay, digging that. So see how I have a fold here that just kind of loops around like this? I'm going to try to do something and put some emphasis on that. Good question, Jill.
So
do you want to answer?
Yeah.
You don't have to say where.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I was.
You did?
I was in school for maybe about a year in graphic design school, and then I discovered coding, and I got heavy into the tech world. So no longer in the artistic industry. I do still love it, which is why I enjoy watercoloring. But
and your nails.
And my nails.
Other crafty
are my,
projects.
My craftiness. But I like it more as a hobby and not as a full-time job. Because my creativeness only goes like thus far. Meanwhile, my lovely mother's is like ever expanding.
So Sydney Sydney and her brother both grew up in this space with me. Sydney was 1 and Addison was 3 when I started freelancing and working in my own studio space. Hi, Annette. And so she kind of grew up like with me teaching and me doing Copics and like doing all kinds of different things and graphic design. So, you know, but you have to kind of find the thing that lights you up, right? So as my career and the things that I've been interested in have evolved over the years, so has Sydney's. So has Sydney's. So it's kind of fun. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be, right? And you just kind of find different things that light you up. Hello, Annette. Oh, business meeting. I have meetings later. I get it. Jill. Yeah, Jeanette.
Yeah, I think
the same thing I always say.
I changed
You're
my
young. Change
before
your
I
mind.
graduated with my bachelor's. I think I changed my major 3 times.
Yeah, which you're supposed to.
3 or 4 times.
You're supposed to when you're getting started.
But it worked out.
It worked out.
I'm in my master's now.
She's
It's
in her
great.
master's.
Got a job. It's all good.
Yep, and she's on her way with doing the thing that she likes to do, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. All right, I'm tapping off. I did switch over, friends, to at number 3, a smaller brush. If you want a smaller brush too, let me know. If you feel like you're good. Okay.
I'm good.
Oh, Annette, I would love to craft all day. So, friends, I'm going to address that question. And Annette, friends, I mentioned Annette. Annette is here in the chat at AS Card Design. And Annette, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong. She is trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. She's really, really super close. So please go subscribe to her channel. She has amazing card tutorials. I've watched several. And once she gets to 1,000, her brother is coming in her studio space and making a card. And I think she's doing it this Sunday. I think I'm right. Yeah. So I think she's hit, or she's really close to hitting her 1K goal. And her brother's going to come in. And it's always fun to have guests on your channel. It's always super, super fun. Okay, I skipped over this little... That was the wind. We both heard it. There's hail and like wind hitting.
She made it to 1,000.
Oh, you did make it! Your next goal is 5K. Yay!
Nice.
I don't know where I am in the mix. I'm trying to get to 10K, but I don't even know where I am at the moment. So that's kind of a weird goal then, if I don't even know where I am at the moment. Eventually I'll get there. It's taken some time. I've been doing this for a while. I also don't... I should probably push it a little harder. All right, I've got this petal right here that kind of loops around. I'm probably going to edit it in a little bit. I'm going to, and just kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Just right now, this first go at everything is just kind of color blocking my first round of color in. That's pretty cool. What's the matter?
I goofed.
Just keep going.
I made a goof.
You keep going. It looks good. We're just painting and chatting. Today's, the intention of today's tutorial was kind of really just going through some of the differences of the medium, see what comes out. We talk about practice makes better on this channel.
I like it.
Practice makes better because there's no such thing as perfection. Some people think there are, but that's not really the goal. We also talk about here that I I really enjoy the process more than I do the outcome. So like playing and experimenting with the mediums and seeing what they do, and that's the whole basis of the channel, Craft Your Joy. So that's, I don't have an intention of what the outcome is going to be. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Jill. I never have an intention of like how I think. In my brain, I always tell you that I think I know how it's going to turn out in my brain. Like I can close my eyes and visualize, but it very rarely turns out that way.
Well, that's why one's on the floor.
That's why I tossed the first one, right? I was like, yeah, I'm not going to keep going with this one. All right, I've got a petal that's like floating out this way. And that could easily be some greenery and leafery, but I'm going to use it as a petal. You know what? I really wanted to go out and get a chai, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
Yeah, it's gross out.
It's
I don't really feel like...
gross.
Oh, it's starting to stick.
And it's sticking.
No.
So it's sticking. We're giving you the weather report from Maryland.
It is gross, cold, and snowing.
And
I'm mad because it was so warm yesterday.
It was so
we even
warm.
sat outside. Was that yesterday? Was that
Yeah,
2
it
days
was
ago?
yesterday. It was yesterday.
Sat outside.
A little bit, yeah. And 2 days ago we did too.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a little. And we had dinner with friends last night,
yes,
so that was
so
lovely. So I'm gonna take this petal right here and just kind of go like that. Just let that be like that.
I'm getting a little muddy over here.
Okay, so when you feel like you're getting that way, the interesting thing about the Neocolor twos is that they're not going to get muddy. They're just you're going to layer and they're going to have like some kind of opacity.
Good.
Just let it dry.
Yeah.
And then you can go in and bring back some of your petals with some
color?
details. Yeah, I've only used one
Wow.
color
No,
so
it looks
far.
really good.
And using... And thank you, Annette. Have a great day. Jeanette, I wish we could get some moisture. Yeah, I understand. Same. We've had drought for quite some time. And so while we don't mind the rain and the snow, and we're complaining a little bit, we do need it. We absolutely do need it. So yeah, I've only done one color. So let it dry, or do you want it? You can like move on to the other petals.
Go back here.
And then just add a little bit more. And then bring it up. You can always take your brush and just kind of go back in and...
Can I get a smaller one?
Make lines.
Oh, it's going to be behind me.
Yeah, it's going to be behind you.
God, I'm wearing
just
PJ pants. Please don't judge.
I don't think anybody will be able to see
I'm
it.
wearing Star Wars pants. I hope not.
Are you?
Okay, yeah, you can. Yeah.
She is wearing Star Wars PJ pants. Christmas ones at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
Comfortable.
That's so funny. I unfortunately have hard pants on. So hard pants are jeans. So
You could have. Oh, those are cute jeans.
yeah, those are really
Those jeans.
holy and banged up, and sort of use them in the garden sometimes. Okay, so I do have some petals in the back that I have not addressed yet. So I'm going to address them. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a mix of an orange and that carmine color together. I'm a perfect artist in mind. We all are, Jill, because it's just kind of about the joy of it. Just kind of about the joy and the experimentation of it. But also part of it too is like, if you create mud, or create a color that's not as desirable to what you're trying to achieve, you learn something along the way. You learned, hey, I can't mix those two colors together, or hey, I should have stopped like 2 clicks back and kept going. But then you've created that muscle memory in your brain to say, the next time you approach something, you're going to remember that. You're going to do something else. Oh, Maureen says she's in her PJ. They got the crud. Oh, we had the crud.
We did.
And I think everyone knows because I had to cancel my Thursday for the stomach bug. We had the crud. It was wild how it went through.
It was not fun.
Started at my son's house. We had a birthday party on a Saturday there. I'm going to take a little bit of this carmine and I'm going to mix a little bit of orange with it. And, you know, there were little kids there. And then my son and daughter-in-law to be got sick on Sunday. And we were fine.
I was totally fine.
We were fine. Like, fine on Sunday, fine on Monday. I got sick Monday into Tuesday.
That's right.
From 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. It was just quick and awful. And then you were Thursday.
No. I was Friday.
Oh, it was Friday and Saturday.
I was out with some friends, and then all of a sudden I did not feel good, and it was, I think, 10 p.m. to maybe like 9 a.m.
And I was up with her.
Yeah, thank the Lords for my wonderful mother staying up, even though she had just caught back up on sleep.
I was like, oh boy.
I felt so bad.
But you know what? That's what you do.
But she took care of me.
Yeah, and you got better.
And the boyfriend stayed away, thank gosh.
And then, so he didn't get sick.
And
so
Dad
that's
didn't
good.
get it.
Dad didn't get it, so that's good.
I was treated like a princess for the weekend because I felt like I was on my deathbed.
Yeah. So it'll take a lot out of you. All right, I'm just starting to add a little bit of color, more color in. Just adding a couple layers here. Hi, Arlene from New Hampshire. Is it snowing there? I love New Hampshire. That's looking really good.
I know.
You've got light washes of color, so now you can start going in. See how you got your darker color?
Yeah,
there?
I just
looks
went in with
really good.
this indigo.
Oh, I love that indigo color.
Oh, blue indigo.
Yeah, indigo blue. So just a beautiful blue. All right. Starting to see the vibrancy of this petal coming up. Yeah, Jill said that's what moms are for. That's what we're for. That is our job. It will be, it doesn't matter how old you are, it will be forever and ever the job. Oh, Arlene said not yet. So it sounds like they're getting some snow in New Hampshire. It is March, friends, so you know, March in Maryland means could have an 80-degree day, could have a blizzard the next. It's just kind of how it is. So this petal in the back, what I'm trying to do is create the illusion that there's lightness right here, and there'll be the tip of the petal will be a little bit darker so that you can see that the petal is kind of like cupped. So you'll be able to get some dimension. You did that too.
I tried to copy you.
You did it too with the edge. Yeah. So you can see that there's definition and we've got a flower that's cupped. So, oh yeah. Okay, Maureen shared the first year you used with watercolor with your art buddy. You used 300-pound paper because you could scrub it clean and start over so many times. Yep, you can totally do that. Like you can scrub clean. I could have, like that piece that we had that I tossed at the beginning, I could have taken the time to scrub it clean. And I could have used my mono eraser too to kind of scrub it clean. The mono eraser is like a sandpaper eraser. So, oh, look at that. I dropped a droplet of water on there and look at what the watercolor did. It said, hey, let me distribute. Tanya said she loves your nails.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, Sydney has beautiful nails.
St. Patty's
Beautiful
Day.
Nails. Beautiful nails.
Nope.
Okay, right around the edge here on the tip, I'm tapping in some color, wet into dry. Yep, tap. And then I'm going to clean off my brush. And then the brush is wet. And I'm just going to use what's here and dance my brush around a little bit. And kind of draw that color down just a little bit. Clean brush again. And then feather it down. So that we get that illusion. Yeah, there you go. So you can go in and like create your petals back.
My lines, yeah.
And just wing it. I'm gonna take my clear water. You know what? Your dad's over in Finksburg.
Why? Oh, the truck.
Yeah. You should have texted him and told him to bring us something.
Is he still in Vicksburg?
I don't know. See, your mom wants a Diet Dr. Pepper. If I text him, he'd be like, too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be like, too bad, Amar. He may still be close by. He may not. I can't remember. He was here for a bit in between runs to different places. Okay, I'm going to go around the back here. 100% like hardcore color there. Full strength. Brush is clean. And then I'm just going to feather it down. Oh, that looks good.
Little intense.
Oh, that looks really good.
Intense.
You use the indigo for that?
This is yeah.
Oh, that looks so good. Now, I talked about last week, the Caran D'Ache comes in sets of 15. That's a set of, is it 10? That's 15.
This is 10.
Yeah, 10. And they come in sets of 10. They come in sets of 15. They also come in sets, I think the biggest set is 80.
Holy.
You don't need that many colors.
No.
They're tempting, though, because they're beautiful. But you really don't need that many colors. Last week I showed you how you could mix some colors. Last week I mixed that really super bright green with the indigo to create more of a leafy green. So you can really experiment with them. All right. See this little blush? I really messed that up, but I'm just gonna kind of work with it, clean with a wet brush. Just kind of work with it. Brush is kind of wet. Paper is a little bit dry. Just kind of letting some of those little texture lines be. So I'm using this color Carmine, and I kind of wish I wouldn't have used it. I kind of wish I would have. It's a really beautiful pinky red. Here's the color. So at full like mass tone of the color, it's really gorgeous. You can get down to a really, really pale pink. But I do it every time. I like to mix Carmine with other colors, but when I use it as the star of the show, I feel like I have to work a little bit harder. You can see that this Carmine color, like the undertone of that color has a little violet in it. Like when you look at this color, you see the pinky red.
Yeah.
But what you see a little bit of, what else do you see?
There's a little purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see purple in there. So it can sometimes really mess with your eyes when you're painting. So, but we're gonna march on and just keep going. Now I've got this little piece over here that was part of the fold that I'm just gonna make dark as I possibly can get it. And just drop that in so that you can see that it curves around and kind of folds like that. Then we have this piece right here. I really should have popped a reference up so that we could see. This piece right here is part of another petal. So, oh, the one I threw out.
Yeah, the one you threw out.
Yeah, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in and show you. See how this petal right here kind of folds around like this? So that piece right here is part of this petal. So there's the fold, and it comes around. We painted this really dark, and then that fold comes around and is part of this petal. Let's see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I want to go to this petal, and I want to block in a little bit of a darker, I have a lot of paint there. Block in a little bit of a darker color right here. I'm loving yours. Yours is very ethereal.
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but
It's all right. We're just painting and having some
It's
fun.
working.
We're painting and having some fun.
God, my stomach's growling.
We haven't eaten yet.
No, I have not. Rolled out of bed for this.
That'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to come in and with a little bit of a lighter hand and apply a little bit of color there. Brush is wet now, but clean. And just kind of go up to that edge and draw that color down. I want to try to make it very evident, we'll see, that this petal is part of this. Oh, that's just the tip. I just had it stuck on there for whatever reason, I don't know. Okay, digging it, digging it, digging it, digging it. Let's add a little bit. I also have worked my way around the stamens here and haven't done anything with them yet. Okay, let's go ahead. Oi! And then I've got that back petal and this back petal. We're gonna run over today, friends. It's 12:22. This isn't happening in an hour. Probably gonna run 15 minutes over. It's probably what's gonna happen. We'll see. Let's take a little bit of this color. Brush is wet, paper is dry. Add a little bit back here. Holy smokes, we have a lot of friends with us today. 70 people, I think. That's what it says. Sometimes you can see it up there, but only if I have the mouse on the screen. I think it's right there. It says it right there. It's a lot of people.
I can't see.
Yeah.
Dang.
This whole house is blind.
Yeah. Great genes. Great eyeball genes.
Great eyeball jeans. It's funny. All right, here's my petal. Here's my back petal. It looks a little weird, but we're gonna whatever. Arlene's shared. I love the magenta with the blue purple. I know, isn't it?
I'm trying
pretty?
here. It's getting a little murky every time I go back in.
I don't think it is murky. I think you just lost the definition of your
I don't
petal.
know where the separation
So
is.
use this as your reference and then literally paint it back in.
Yeah,
like you're doing right now. Like you're doing right
I'm
now.
just using the indigo as like my liner.
And it's all about, like, in these cases, you know, we're just experimenting with these mediums and trying to see what they do and what you like and don't like and just having some fun with it. So, brush is wet but clean. It doesn't have any, oh, okay. I see.
Tattoo
Okay.
advice. Don't care.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's pop that in there. Alright, I'm kind of liking the way this one looks. You can see that there's a little bit of light like along the tip of that petal, but that's really the petal in the back. Alright, digging the way this is framing in. Probably am not going to add a whole lot more. I am going to add another layer of color, but right now what I'm going to do is move to the greens and just add my stems, and then I'm going to come back to this last layer of color. Now in the Daniel Smith colors that I have, like the only green in this mix is this spring green. So I know that that's not the desirable color that I want for making a leafy green. So let's just do a little bit of color mixing. And we did this with the Caran D'Ache ones, the Neo colors, last week. Very similar. We used that springy green, which is like this limey St. Patty's Day green. And then I'm going to come in, I'm going to use a little bit of this Carbazole violet. Look at how dark that violet is. It's almost black. Let's take a little bit of that because it's right here. Drop this in. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Let's say experiment. I ended up getting more of a black. I didn't want that, but look at that. That's a pretty color. That's like a moon glow.
It's not green though.
Because I had more of the Carbazole than I did the green. see if we can bring it back. Getting closer to see how that's more.
Oh, yeah. Leaf free. Can I just straight on here?
Yeah, just do it right on the glass mat. Add a little more of the green in. We can get closer to the green that I'm looking for. So here you go. So that Carbazole violet was really strong, but then you add a little bit more of that green back in, and then I can get close to more of a realistic leafery green. All right, here we go. Going in. We're just gonna take as much of this as possible and just use the tip of my brush. Follow the lines in the illustration. And just kind of tuck in. Just hit decline.
Where's your mouse?
She knows I'm on a live too.
Decline.
She probably forgot.
Probably. I like that color. I don't like that
color. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like the way it looks. Okay, we're getting close to bringing it home. Just using a steady hand, as steady as I can possibly be. Drop that in. Get a little. All right, I'm liking it. I'll come back with the stamens. Now, I'm going to remove this so that I can just play around here and adjust what I'd like to do. I'm going to pick up a different red, and I think I'm going to go for, here's permanent alizarin crimson, which I absolutely love. Here's a quinacridone red. So this red is bright too. I think I'm just going to come in and grab some of this red and just work on another layer, blocking in. Oh, I mixed it in with the green there a little bit. That's all right. And now I'm just going to feather it out, and this is going to be my last layer of color. So the carmine is underneath, and you can still see it kind of coming through because this is a watercolor medium, so it's kind of lovely. Tanya, that's so funny. Told my husband last night that I had a dental appointment. Reminded him again, and he still called. Yep.
Sounds very familiar.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'll text her back. Yeah, she probably forgot because we're under a deadline for a different project. So sometimes when you get under deadlines, you kind of forget the other person's schedule. So, you know, it is what it is. There we go. Okay, loving that. Interesting. All right, gonna come in with this color and add a little bit of here, block in a little bit. You can see how that has already come up. That's already come up. I'm gonna add a little bit of this color here and here. Spring friend.
I see that.
And just kind of feather this out a little bit. Let that go. And you can see how this is really starting to pop. I'm loving it. Gonna add a little bit here, and around here. Just get a little bit going. See how your petals are coming back?
Yeah.
You're just adding them back in. Adding a little bit of color here. Thank you, Jeanette. Pretty flowers. We're just having some fun. Okay, add a little bit here. Just blocking that in, clean off my brush, and then I'm just going to feather it out. Clean brush, using the paint that's here, and feathering that out just a little bit to my outer edges. Just kind of feeling it out, seeing where you want it to go. Love, love, love. Do, 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 do. You can see that transparency happening. Loving that. So let's blend this out just a smidge here. You're very quiet.
I'm focused. I'm trying to focus.
It looks really good.
I don't like how that played out.
I like it.
It's a little too dark.
It's a little more illustrative.
It's
having fun. You're having
something.
fun. You're having fun.
It looks better on camera than it does in person.
No, that's not true.
I'm gonna go with that.
That's not true. Whenever you feel like you don't know how something looks, you're going to hold it up, and you hold it up in your hand and hold it at like an eyeball's distance. So see how you're holding it, and it looks completely different. That's how you do it. Sometimes people take a picture of their things with their phone too, and that will kind of help you see the values of the colors a little bit more. Also, we've got this weird lighting going on because because outside is really
Gross.
gross and weird and wet and all that stuff. All right, I'm bringing this home. I got to put the stamens in. I'm liking the colors. I'm liking the petals. I think I'm going to leave them instead of yeah, Jill said same printed flowers but totally different looks. Totally different looks. But you can see the medium that we used, completely different looks. Here's the one that I tossed, trying to use the sticks like a crayon. I wasn't really able to blend out those extra little bits of the pigment, and it's actually fine. I could have kept going. The texture is nice, but I was going for more of a smoothie look. So I like the illustrative look.
Yeah.
I could see like going back in with a black pen.
Yeah.
And maybe adding a little something. I don't have a black in this thing, so we're going to use that Carbazole Violet again. Let's use the Carbazole Violet and get a really intense mixture of that. Like really intense, it'll be almost black. I'm going to use it at full strength and just kind of come in and do these little lines for the stamen or for the pod. Little lines, little dots. And you can't really tell that it is a dark purple. You can a little bit, but not too intense. Okay, like that. Digging that. You could have even just ignored that if you wanted to. Now I've got this whole left hand thing going. I've got the center here. So I'm just going to use this at full strength again. And just kind of follow the line work in the illustration to create the center of... I could have used some of your indigo blue. That would have been nice. But we used the purple instead to kind of get that black going in the middle there. And I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to leave some of that white from the paper. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. And I think I'm going to call mine done. What do you think? Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Do you not like it?
I think it's cute.
I think it's really cute.
I like it.
I think I'm going to call it
These are
done for
fun.
our practice. Like, I might consider, like, going back in and... I always say that. I'm going to consider going back in and adding a little bit more details or whatever. But I'll post the final ones to the community tab here on YouTube so that you can see them. But let's take just a quick recap at what we experienced with the mediums. So how did it feel working with the Caran D'Ache Neo colors?
I mean, I don't really think you can see the texture lines on the ones I like drew on specifically.
You can't.
Yeah. But it was very nice. I mean, it layered very well. I'm not the best layerer. I don't know how to make that contrast, but I tried. There was an attempt made. But I really liked them. They were really smooth.
Okay.
And they're pretty opaque.
Yeah, they're pretty opaque.
And they can layer. I mean, like, this was all layered. Yeah.
So they can layer,
It might
and
look
you've
a little
got
muddy, but
no, it's not muddy. The beautiful thing about the Neo Color 2s is that they've got this dreamy quality to them. So where the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks are just that, they're watercolor in stick form. So you can get, they behave very traditionally like our watercolor. Different mediums in stick form. Different brands, different effects, which I think is really kind of neat. Thank you, Arlene. Very, very cool. Both are beautiful. I agree. Both are beautiful and just different in nature. I like how you took that part and made it part of the leafery.
I did not realize it was a petal.
And it could be leafery, it could be
idea.
a petal. I don't know. I
It's
don't
very
remember
cute.
when I drew it. So, that's what it is. So, okay, friends. Let's just go ahead to the front camera. Thanks so much for joining us today. It was super fun. I'm so glad you could join us.
I know.
She'll probably be joining us a little bit more
Often.
More often for our painting tutorials while we before you start
Yes.
your new work. So that'll be fun. Okay. All right, friends. Thanks so much for joining us today. We need to bring that mouse back over.
Oh.
Gently, ever so gently. I hope that it gets a little bit warm where you are. And we'll see how everything goes. Oh, Karen said, I've never used the sticks. May have to get a few and try them. Yeah, give them a try and see how you feel. So the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks they're beautiful. They are amazing. The colors are super, super vibrant. They're watercolor pigment in a stick form. You can use them like a crayon. It's just a little bit different than using like the Neo Color 2s. So, all right, friends. Thanks so much for joining us today. Trying to find the mouse, get that back on track, see where we are. I will be back next week. We'll be back next week. If you're on my email list, you'll get that sent into your email. It's also a big week because we'll be preparing for the March release for Gina K Designs. And I know I say this every month. I'm super excited about my new release that's coming out at the end of March. But we'll be back next week. You probably... it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah, you're leaving for that. So
I'll be here Tuesday.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Whenever you decide, I'll be here.
Probably going to be either twice a week next week or just once. So stay tuned. I will post in the YouTube community. I will also send it out to my email list, and we'll go from there. Thanks, everyone. Lisa and little Lisa.
There you
I
go.
always say that
Yeah.
when Lisa was 22, I looked like that. That's what I look like. That's my hair. That's all the things. So it's kind of fun watching your child grow. It's amazing. It's super blessed. Super blessed. Summer basket dies. No, Jill, something a little bit different. There are more More additions going in with the basket of all seasons, just not next month. Just not this month. Whew. Okay, friends, thanks so much for joining us. We're sending you into the weekend to craft your joy. So I hope you get a little time to paint and just have some fun. So we'll see you next week, friends. Bye now.